All right, thanks, Joey. Well, time now for a check of our top stories, and we start with the latest on the Russian invasion of Ukraine. President Joe Biden is flying to Brussels for an emergency NATO summit that's set for Thursday. And we're learning he's also planning new sanctions targeting Russian officials. The White House says his first objective at the meeting set for Wednesday is to help the Ukrainians. Ukraine says some 100,000 people are trapped in besieged city of Mariupol. Other Ukrainians are battling to protect the capital, Kyiv, among other cities. And the UN says more than 3.5 million refugees have fled to neighboring countries to escape the fighting. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, President Biden is set to announce a new round of sanctions against Russian senior officials and lawmakers. The White House says the trip is also to show that the U.S. stands with its allies. And switching gears now, after being closed because of past earthquakes in Puerto Rico, the Museum of Art in Ponce is making an important alliance to highlight their collections. Our Francis Felix reports.
As part of an historic alliance between Museum of Art of Puerto Rico and Museum of Art of Ponce, both institutions will be presenting the collection Victorian Art as part of a 2-year agreement of these important museums in the island. This agreement occurs in the context of the closure of the galleries of Ponce Museum of Art due to the reconstruction work that will be carried out after the damage caused by the impact of earthquakes in January 2020. Victorian Art is the first temporary exhibition organized since the closure of the galleries in early 2020 and is one of the 4 exhibitions that will be held at the Museum of Art of Puerto Rico during the period of this collaborative alliance.
When I say historic alliance, this is the first time that Museo de Arte de Ponce has lent some of its most iconic and important popular works to another art museum in Puerto Rico. And this will be the first of several museums that we're in conversation with to share other aspects of our collection. But here, for our first exhibition in San Juan, we wanted to bring our Victorian painting collection. It's 13 works by some of the top artists working at that time in the 19th century. We have the Victorian art paintings here until July 3rd, and the next exhibition will look at our Baroque collection, which is also internationally renowned and very, very important in the Americas. And we will continue with another year and 2 more exhibitions.
In terms of the process that it's happening in the Museo de Arte de Ponce, how long it will take to reopen?
We're in the process right now of reviewing proposals from architects and engineers for the reconstruction and retrofit of our very famous Edward Durrell Stone building from 1965. We anticipate the process will take a few years, and we'll have a better idea once we select the company that will work on the reconstruction and retrofit.
Tell us about this iconic piece of the exhibition Victorian Art.
Well, Museo de Arte de Ponce has about 4,500 works, and this painting in particular is one that people from all over the world come to Ponce to see this work. It's Flaming June by Frederick Layton. It was painted in 1895, and our founder, Don Luis Ferre, purchased it from a gallery in London in 1963.
The exhibition Victorian Art at the Victoriano will be here till July, and all the family can come and visit from Thursday to Sunday. From Santurce, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks for that report, Francis. In the meantime, we have continuing coverage today on Ironman 70.3 Puerto Rico. As you may know, our Marisol Rivera was at the finish line as these elite athletes wrapped up their race. That's actually where she had the chance to chat with top performer Deborah Eckhouse of White Rock, British Columbia.
So we've got the first female to go through the finish line. She's super excited. Tell us your name. Where do you come from?
My name is Debbie. I'm from White Rock, British Columbia.
Well, congratulations. Great representation. How grueling did you find this route?
You know, I just started trail running in November. Bellingham has some of the best hills known in the nation. And I just started loving trails so much. So when I was running this, I just imagined it was a trail run and took it exactly the same way, paced it the same way, felt really strong, and caught the two girls right at the end there.
How many Ironman 70.3 have you done? How many have you done before?
Half Ironmans? This is my 8th, and I'm training for my first full in August. Will be Montreal and Montrabant.
All the best.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I should also say thank you to my coach, Brett Detta. He's awesome. He's the reason why I tapered well to get here. He called it controlling my wild beast because I usually do too much high-intensity workouts. So I'm feeling great, feeling awesome.
Great, and it's all about finishing, right? But you actually made it the first one through the finish line.
I can't believe it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Marisol. Meantime, Jamaicans are demanding an apology and slavery reparations from Britain. On Tuesday, protesters gathered outside the British High Commission building in Kingston hours before the arrival of William and Kate, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge in Jamaica. Here's what two of the protesters had to say.
Coming here as visitors is not a problem, but them coming here as representatives of the biggest colonial slave mistress on earth, Elizabeth of England, is a big problem when they are bringing no reparations, they are bringing no apologies, they are bringing no remorse. They are just coming to say, here I go because I am, it's called gentry privilege. I can just walk up in your country because I own your country and I still own your country and I can do whatever I want to do with your country. We are not tolerating that. I am not tolerating that.
Some of them do because they know what it means to apologize, right? And they know that their ancestors have been killed by these wicked people. And these people need to know that we know, and we are going to stand up for even the young people who may not know. We should even get reparation from these people.
And switching gears now, the retirement age in Trinidad and Tobago could be raised from 60 to 65 years old. Finance Minister Colm Imbert said that in one of the recommendations that has been made to deal with the deficit between contributions and benefits from the National Insurance Board, it was contained in the 10th actual review of the T&T National Insurance System. Speaking in the Senate on Tuesday, Minister Imbert said several consultations have already taken place with trade unions on the matter, including the National Union of Government and Federated Workers.
The government has commenced stakeholder engagement with respect to increasing the retirement age as proposed in the 10th actuarial report. So far, the minister in the ministry has met with the NUGFW and a meeting with the Public Services Association is being arranged.
Now, the finance minister went on to say there was another recommendation that contributes to the National Insurance Board to be increased. The actual review stated that an increase in the contribution rate to 16.2% should be viewed as one of the transitionary measures to better be reinformed in the pension system. But Imbert said that's not a suggestion the government is accepting at this time.
The question of increasing contributions, that is something that we would wish to avoid unless it is absolutely necessary. And I want to reiterate, as I said in the answer to the previous question, the investment income of the National Insurance Board in 2021 was sufficient to cover the difference between contributions and benefits.